one of my diaries at random, open the page to a random page, and then I read at least the whole page. First one. That's a good one. 22nd of April 2020. Last night I had a dream, although I only remember the end of it. And I think I actually astral projected into S's home. Stella Freydholm's home. Or maybe I'm someone else's dream, or maybe in someone else's dream, one of the stalkers. I was a professor. I was with a professor of what seemed like Professor Xavier's school of gifted mutants. Last night me and Rob nearly got into a fight with a pair of meth heads. I stood my ground and we avoided a physical altercation. I was satisfied, I remember that. I remembered the connection to my brother in that situation. And I was still learning to stand up for myself at that time. Good. And as for the dream, I remember it was Stella Freydholm's stepfather. He was there. He's in prison now, I believe. He went to prison for the things that he did. He went to prison, I think it was 6 months ago now. So he was in the dream. And I was astral projected into his house. He was making a table, but we saw it as Professor Xavier's School of Mutants, and he was this pompous professor, and I was, I could barely speak. I didn't know who I was, what I was doing. I was living in his projection in the astral, while I was astral projecting in what was basically a dream, and he was just telling me what to do. Was laying the table, and just following him around, and he was saying some really funny shit. He wasn't actually, he wasn't funny, but unintentionally funny to me. And that was in the back of my mind while I was this zombie. And it was in the back of my mind while I was this zombie. And something else happened afterwards. I can't remember what it was. I can't remember. Something else happened, I can't remember. A accidentally sent me her sucking HD's penis. It's starting to seem clear that this is a regular thing for HD in particular. So I'm trying to remember who A is. I know HD, Heidi's dad, that's the same father I was talking about in the dream. The one who projected me into a dream. I say projected because I was living in his projection before I fell asleep. Which can happen if you have multiple stalkers living, possessing parts of your light body, lowering your vibration. It was low enough that I became small enough to live in his projection. And that's how you can be you can get some really terrible nightmares. A. Who is A? Whoever A, they might be someone stopping me from saying it right now. A. I think it's one of the old stalkers. I'm trying to think. There's Michelle. There's Stella Senior. There's Lauren. There's Heidi's father, Stella Freudholm. There's the kids. Oh, it's one of the kids. Okay. No, I can. Yeah, one of the kids. Amy. She accidentally sent me. Oh, it's the 16-year-old. I remember the 14-year-old. 15-year-old? 14 to 16. I remember she's 14 to 16. And she was sucking her dad's penis. And, yeah, that was a realization for me. Although I had these realizations about who their father was beforehand. But I kept forgetting. They would suppress the understanding. They would suppress the memory in my focal point while they were holding on, while they were possessing it. And I would forget, or I would temporarily not be able to think about it. And then it would come back. Or no, so they just do something else even worse and remember. Of course, it's not funny. But it's starting to seem clear that this is a regular thing for Heidi's dad in particular. So he liked to rape the girls in the house, the younger girls, on a regular basis. In fact, Mother Stella Senior would facilitate this, but he got so disgusting, even she had enough. And she, I think she, and she saved herself at the same time, I think. She told him about what he was doing. And I remember it was one of the last ones that he did. It was one of the youngest girls. Yeah. And then yeah, so then Stella Senior told them about him, and I think she saved herself at the same time by doing so. And now she is living wherever. I don't want to go into too much detail about her just now, for whatever reason. And yeah. That'll be a good one for next time, I guess. Happy